Hello people of the web and welcome back to Creators Thoughts. I had a topic planned to record, but this morning I saw a tweet that inspired my brain to start to boil, and I feel the need to talk about it. This week's topic was inspired by Seriously Clara, who, as well as being a clearly fantastic streamer, works at Devolver Digital, a big game publisher, as their influencer strategist. The thread is fairly long and detailed, and I plan on referencing it some, but will mostly be summarising it with perhaps a couple quotes. A link to the thread will be in the description if you'd like to read in detail. I discussed working with and approaching publishers in episode 18. However, today we're going to add to those thoughts. You won't need to have listened to episode 18 to enjoy this episode, but I think it's a good and insightful instalment and would encourage you to go have a listen. Clara had a content creator reach out to request a Steam key. This is fairly common in the industry. However, Devolver typically encourages creators to request via a bespoke form for each game. This helps gather requests in an organised way that's easy to filter through. I feel that it's important to try and interact with and request keys from publishers in the way that they ask. However, it's possible a creator has a specific inquiry the form might not include. If you feel the need to do this, please make a point of explaining why you felt the need to detour from the publisher's preferred method. So let's get into the meat of the sandwich, or cheese and beetroot, or peanut butter and jelly. Great, now I'm hungry. The body of the email reads to me as if they were explaining the industry to Clara. I'll quote, "Being a content creator, I have a lot of influence over my viewers, and if you send me a game key, you are guaranteed sales." End quote. Oh, and let me explain. When a content creator makes streams or videos, more people will see it and want to buy it. End quote. There are many more examples that feel like they're explaining the industry to an influencer strategist. Clara is an established creator and works for Devolver, a pretty successful publisher. Clara and Devolver know what they're doing, and the tone doesn't come over well. It just feels condescending. I think everyone can slip up with tone on an email. It's important to occasionally get feedback on emails before sending. I remember running an email draft past one of my mods before sending it to a company that I'm now partnered with. As it happens, the only pointer I got was a misspelling. However, if there was a tone issue, I know that they would have told me. Later in the thread, they pitched an idea of, you can make a Twitch account, I can show you, but honestly, it's prob better if you just learn for yourself. End quote. Clara is a streamer, and a partnered one at that. This is stated in Clara's Twitter bio that they clearly used to get the email address. Always try and do your research on those you reach out to. There is plenty more I could pick holes in, but I'm going to explain my approach and reasoning behind it. When I'm interested in a game, I'll read up on the game in detail, and if that publisher is seeding keys, how to request and what they're looking for. If you're interested or excited about a game, let the publisher know that and why. A publisher wants to work with creators with a genuine interest for the game. If that game genre is a focus on your channel, tell them. If you're excited about the chance to have viewers join you, say that. I will only request a key if I'm confident that I'd cover the game and believe that my request represents a good value for the publisher. To understand your value, it's a good idea to have a game plan of what content you plan to create, consider form, quality, and quantity. Sometimes you might want to include your plans when requesting to aid the publisher in understanding your value. The gaming industry is something that a huge number of people are very passionate about. Most job openings attract a lot of interest, and so those that are accepted for a role tend to be incredibly knowledgeable. Obviously, we all have areas we aren't familiar with, or don't understand completely. One of mine is TikTok. One day I'll download it to explore, but I've seen the trance that it calls friends to slip into, and I'm not sure I'm ready to risk that yet. Anyway, my point is generally they know as much as you, probably more, so speak respectfully and consider how your message might come across. I'm going to share a secret with you. A lot of people stream, and every key request seems to attract a lot of attention. From my brief discussion with Matt at Team 17, I've learned that going through requests is very time consuming. Even when you complete a form, not everything can be automated. Some aspects, like checking your average viewership, can be, but checking out your content and assessing if you're a good fit tends to be a manual process. Be respectful of the influencer relationship team's time. Try and be complete to avoid a long back and forth conversation for them to understand the specifics of your request. But also try to be concise. You will want to include your average viewership, what sort of content you create, perhaps your plan to cover this game, perhaps your streaming schedule, links to your socials, Twitch, YouTube, or website. I'm yet to work with Devolver. They publish many great games, but I've only applied for one game key since I branched out into variety content. And yes, I used the form and didn't email Clara directly. Look at me following my own rules. Other games have looked fun to play, but only one has felt like an excellent fit for my stream start. Clearly a game my community would enjoy watching, and I'd imagine the majority would consider buying and playing. This particular game's trailer got me incredibly excited, and I watched it multiple times. It's not planned to be out until next year, so fingers crossed I get to work with them in the future. Those are my ramblings. Hope you found them interesting, and as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts too. Thank you for listening. Bye bye now.